Thanks a lot for this information. I didn't know that, but I know, of course, that the Austrian government and the Austrian politics is heavily influenced by Russia. And, you know, we have a big problem in Europe with energy business and the corruption attached. When I lived in Ukraine, I learned that basically 1% of the revenues which one country delivers to Russia will be used for political corruption in that country. And then I tried to understand my own country better, and that's basically how it happens, because Austria since 50 years is the hub of Russian gas influence in Europe, and we have started with these pipelines in the year 68, and that's why Putin came to the 50-year celebration. He concluded another contract to 40 years long for 7 billion to buy, we have to buy basically Russian gas from him. So this is basically how it works. 1% of 7 billion, you can buy a lot of Austrian politicians, and you can ensure that they then know that they have this obligation to be very nice for you, even when you launch a war of aggression. And then Austria has just very much minimal compliance with the sanctions and has been just, you know, to be on both sides basically. But they have not really done anything courageous like the Czech Republic or others who have really sent a lot of diplomats home. Austria just a few, and to learn that now the representatives of Russia come back. I was so shocked. It was my most shocking experience in politics. In 2014, Putin has already attacked Ukraine, Crimea and waged a war. And still in June, he was invited as a state guest to Austria. And he was the red carpet, and the Austrians said, oh, you're such a great gentleman. It was the visit of shame in 2014 and in 18 again. So I apologize for the Austrian government. I don't represent it. I will fight on my social media activities and in the media against this visit. And yes, an event in Austria on that occasion with the real representative of the Russian nations would be very, very good. And I will work with Oleg together on this one. And please, my deepest apologies. There will be a new Austria. There will be a European Austria, which will be also purged from this Russian influence. It will emerge out of this crisis and the transformation. And exactly that's why I invite everybody to support the NATO campaign, because this neutrality is always leading that we want to build a bridge, dance with Putin on weddings, and all these things which you might remember, which I'm really apologizing and I'm ashamed for.
Thank you very much. And our Ukrainian friend.
Hello everyone, NGO Promote Ukraine. My name is Christmas. First of all, I want to be maximum grateful for members of European Parliament that you host these brave people here and give that their voice will hear it in Europe. So first of all, I want to reply to those who not yet done some things which I think very important, because I hear that many of our representatives said that when Ukraine win, we take power in our hands, etc. So I think that it's really fair if you create national battalions of your representative as a part of the Ukrainian armed forces and then them to fight on the side of Ukraine. Because if you all say when Ukraine will win, so it means that Ukrainians should to shed the blood for you, but it's ready you to shed your blood for Ukrainians. And it's very important. I think that I know that many, for example, like Ichkeria or region of I'm sorry, forget Bashkiria, yes. So I think that some of you already done it, but very important that all of you did do it. So my question is logical, how I think. So who will legal successor of Russian Federation? Because for me, important to understand who will pay reparation for Ukraine. Thank you.
Well, yes, it's also a very good question, but I'm afraid we are not able now to answer this question. But this question should be, we should have it before eyes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we should end this part of the conference, but we we have time in this afternoon and evening, so we will meet together again. Well, and some sentences to the end. Well, the Tsars and then the dictators of the Soviet Union and then President Putin, they wanted Europe and United States, the world, to see the Russian Empire, Russia, as a monolith. And the picture drawn today at this conference shows that it was, and it is not true. There is a variety of countries, of lands in Russia, so it opens new perspectives after the war. And to the end, Slava Ukraini. Thank you very much.